welcome back to another episode of Breaking Character. My name is jordan-paige. I'm the show creator and host. Thank you so much for tuning in today. I am so excited to have GIA NAVARRO on the show. GIA NAVARRO is 16 years old. She loves making films as well as acting in them. GIA NAVARRO is 16 years old. She loves making films as well as acting in them. She discovered this passion after watching La La Land in 2016. She was so moved she started working on monologues and scenes at home. She is based in Manila but worked hard to get theatrical representation in Australia and the US and hopes to keep moving forward. She is continually meeting new people in the industry, has been in a Filipino feature film, and been nominated for Best Actress at a local film festival. So without further ado, let's head to Zoom. Hey everyone, I am so excited to be here today with GIA. How are you doing? What's up?
I'm doing good. It's 10 a.m. on a Saturday morning, so I am rejuvenated.
Oh, that's awesome. Oh my gosh, the time difference between us is huge, which is honestly so cool. I'm really glad we figured out the time and what works best for both of us, because, you know, the larger the time difference, the more it's like, what are we doing? But yes, I'm so excited to have you on the show today. So let's start this off with a game of two truths and a lie. I'm going to attempt to guess which one's the lie is. Sometimes I get it right. A lot of times I get it wrong. So we'll see if I'm lucky today and if I get it right or wrong. So whenever you're ready. Okay.
So I have 6 cats. I love thrifting and I have a fear of public speech.
Okay. Wow. This is difficult. I'm gonna guess that the first one's the lie, only because I think the number of cats is a different number.
I have 6 dogs.
6 dogs. Okay, well, I was right, but not for the reason that I thought I was going to be right. But also 6 dogs. Oh my goodness.
Love animals in my house.
Yeah, we have, our house is 4 cats and a dog, and that is a lot for us. Well, we have technically 5 cats right now, but one of them was sort of a foster situation. So she goes home tomorrow, which is exciting. So yes, well, wow. You totally fooled me. Also, thrifting is awesome. Like, thrifting clothes or also other things, like
Thrifting clothes, but then I have a friend who collects vases and I want to get into that too. But then right now it's clothes.
That's really cool. My housemate has so many plants, and like sometimes we'll get flowers, and I feel like we are always in need of like more pots or vases or something. So we might need to get into that too. So I would love to know more about how La La Land encouraged you to enter into the industry. I thought that was so cool that was the film that inspired you. So what about that film really resonated with you?
Okay, so I don't really know, but then I was in about 6th or 7th grade when it came out. And so I watched it in the theater and everything was really pretty, kind of romanticized. And I like wanted to move to LA the moment I like saw the opening number. And then a few days later, I saw an open call for this audition. And I remembered watching La La Land and I told my mom, I'm doing this, even though I hadn't really like acted before. And then so I did that. And ever since then, I've been like learning scripts and just trying to be Mia.
That's awesome. That is so cool. And I'm so glad that you saw that film and that it inspired you to jump in. I love too how you were like, Mom, I'm doing this. Like this is happening. I'm going to do it. No question about it. That's awesome. So I live, as I said earlier, our time difference, I live nowhere near you. I know nothing about the Philippines. So when I was reading your bio and to read that you have representation in other countries is so cool. So like, how did that work? Like, could you tell us a little bit about that journey? How did that work?
Okay, so 6th or 7th grade Gia. So she saw La La Land and then she wanted to like start acting. And I heard that like commercials was the way to like start. And so I emailed like so many commercial agents in LA. Like I basically bothered everyone. And then I got a couple of responses until they realized I lived in the Philippines and I realized, oh, I live in the Philippines. So like I realized that would be difficult. And this was a year and a half into the acting thing. So I read this book by Jenna Fisher and I realized that I should have started with like student films first and like doing acting class. So I did that. And then I kind of put a reel together by the time I was like 14. and 14, 15-ish. And then I took classes during the pandemic and I got referrals and then I got signed.
Yay! That is so exciting. That's so great. I think that it, first of all, too, that you got responses off the front, like that's awesome. Like, because so many now, it's so difficult. It can be so difficult to like find, it's like via a showcase or something, and you're like, how do I get in touch with these eight? Like, they're so difficult to get a hold of. So I'm so glad that that worked out for you. And oh my gosh, that's so cool. Okay, so sorry, what were
Oh,
you saying?
I was just gonna say, I did like a couple of showcases, and also from them, like I would kind of get callbacks, not all the time, but then I just wanted to say that it was hard to get an agent, and I don't want it to seem like it was just like because I don't want to discourage anyone. Yeah.
No, and absolutely, you're that's so right. Is, sometimes it can sound like it would be, oh, this person had it easy, but no, it's a work in progress for everyone. It takes time and it takes hard work and all of that. So very, very good point there. Okay, so my wild card question has nothing to do with anything, totally off topic from anything. But I figured since here in, we just had Thanksgiving here, or, we have the holiday season coming up. So what is the most important holiday you celebrate with your family, and why is it your favorite, or why do you feel it's the most important?
Okay, quickly, we celebrated Thanksgiving for the first time ever, and I love Thanksgiving.
Really? That's awesome. That
Yeah.
is so cool.
But my favorite holiday would have to be Christmas because that's kind of when all my relatives come home, and we're Filipinos, so we're like scattered all over the globe. And then so they come home and we all kind of celebrate in one house, and it's just like a week of like craziness but fun.
That's awesome. That craziness of everyone, comes home and you've got so many people in the house, but it's great to have everyone together. And that's awesome. And to hear that you guys are from all over the globe is so cool. Basically, my family is just further north in the United States. That's about it. That's all I got. Which even that feels like a long distance. Because I don't see them very often. So I can't imagine what it's like, oh no, they're all the way across, like, dang. All right, so now it's time for our game of memory association. So I've got my random word generator pulled up here on my phone. And when I generate a good word, because some of them are terrible and they aren't good at all, we're both going to say the first memory that comes to our head when we hear that word, even if for some reason the memory has nothing to do with that word, but you hear the word and you go, that's the memory I thought of. So let's see. Our word, we're not getting some great ones. So let's see. Oh, here's one. An ant, the insect.
Huh.
That might not be a good one. So if you can't think of anything, no problem, because I'm still trying to think of something too.
Okay, I think I thought of one, but it was like kind of random.
That's okay.
So in 8th grade, I did this play. And then I remember that I had a friend and he was like kind of a dancer. And then so our nickname for him, I don't know why, was Ant because like the way he would move, it was like, you know how ants move really quickly, and he'd just be like dancing really quickly. I don't know.
No, that's such a fun, like, that's so cool that you guys gave him that nickname because of the way, like, his style of dance. That's really cool. The one I thought of was, I just remember, I think it was my parents moved to Texas. And I want to say that when we first went to visit the house, like all of us together, there were so many anthills, like giant anthills. So like they were really easy to spot most of the time. You wouldn't like have to worry about accidentally stepping one unless you just completely weren't looking where you were going. But I remember we were like, there are so many. And we were like, we need to get them treated because these things are huge. Like they would literally, if this is the ground, they would raise up like this far off the ground. They were huge.
Yeah.
I was like, I don't want to know how many ants are living in that hill. I'm terrified to know. So I think we still have a few, but definitely that first like giant number of them we did do something about. But I was like scared to walk in the yard. I was like, I don't know where they are, like, so that was my memory.
There's a Filipino superstition that if you step on anthills, like you're kind of like awakening the spirits of nature. I don't fully understand it, but then yeah.
That's really cool. I can see where that comes from though. Cause like I could see where that, wow, I did not know that. I'm so glad I know that now. Thank you for sharing that. That's so cool. Oh my gosh. All right. So it was also so cool in your bio to read that you were involved in a Filipino feature film. Super cool. Could you share a little bit about that experience?
Okay. So when I got to set, I was so scared because it was my first like feature film and only feature film, but I was so terrified and I knew that I kind of knew about the character, but I wasn't given the script before.
Mm,
And so I think it was kind of like improv is what the director wanted.
mhm.
So I was there from like 6 a.m. until like 5 p.m.
Ooh.
And I was just kind of sitting around waiting, and the whole time I was just shaking, and all the other like professional, like seasoned actors were just looking at me and they're like, "Are you okay?" And I was like, "No." And then when I got to the role, they gave me the line, and the first take I kind of interrupted the actors. But then by the second take, the director was like, "It's good." And then so my advice kind of to be calmer than me and just like don't freak out about everything. Kind of, yeah.
No, but I can see why you were nervous. I mean, that especially too with that being an improv thing. So you didn't even have the line beforehand to like rehearse and practice with. So, but it sounds like you did great. I'm sorry you were so nervous. I know it was probably like, and especially too being on set, you waiting for so long. It's like 5 hours of just sitting there being, nerves are all, because you're like, what am I, like, what am I going to do? Like, and when am I going to be called to set? I don't know. Like, oh my gosh. So would you say that probably the most valuable lesson you learned was to not be as nervous?
Yeah, and kind of trust the director. He knows what he's doing. If he wants me to do improv, then there's probably a reason. Yeah.
Yeah, definitely yeah, it's hard to get past those nerves, but it definitely, once you can start to, it's of course less nerve-wracking and then you can be a little calmer. Um, so also could you give some advice to those that are watching? This could be any type of advice you want to give, whether it's career advice, life advice, whatever you'd like.
Okay. So I've kind of my advice would be to keep the passion and just keep on learning new things because I've been doing this since for 5 years, I think. And then so every like week I'm always learning something. Like I'm always reading an acting book, or I'm in class, or I'm just watching I'm watching shows and I'm learning how to get into like kind of the character. And so my advice is to just yeah, keep on be curious.
I love that. And absolutely, you can always learn something new. So in all aspects. So I love that advice. And so when things get tough, when things get difficult, what pushes you to keep going?
The belief that I kind of belong in this industry because I know that this is what makes me happy, and I know that to like some extent I'm okay at it. So yeah, I keep every time I kind of feel tired, I just remember like the stuff that I've done, and then I think of the stuff that I could do.
Absolutely. And I mean, of course, you, as in your bio, you've been nominated for Best Actress at a local film festival. So, yes, of course, if this is your passion, then you are meant to be in this industry. So, definitely some great, yeah, to just things are on the horizon. Things are always, you never know what could be coming your way next. And if you stop doing it, then you never know. So, and then lastly, where can people follow you and keep up with what you do?
Okay, so I have an Instagram. It's Gia Navarro _. And then I'm thinking of starting a YouTube channel. So if I ever do, I'll announce it on the Instagram.
Awesome. Well, I will put that in the description below so everyone can go and follow you on Instagram. And thank you so much again for being on the show. This was so much fun and I loved getting to talk to you.
Me too. Thank you for having me.
Of course. So I'm going to go ahead and click stop on the recording and we are going to head
Thank you all
out.
so much again for watching today. I really hope you enjoyed. If you did, you can feel free to like, comment on the video if you want, but you don't have to. You can also follow us on Instagram at Breaking Character Show. If you want to follow Gia or myself on any of our social medias, all of that is in the description box below, as well as the link to submit yourself to be on the show if you would like. Next week, I'm very excited to have Aiden Ertber on the show. I've worked with him a lot in the past, and I'm very excited to get to talk to him on the show. So we will see you next Tuesday.